The announcement today comes just a little over 2 years since the previous affordable housing presentation of Hassan Centenary Terraces and Bob Peliza Mews in 2015. Works on those two projects are now slated to begin in August 2019 for completion in 2021. Hassan Centenary Terraces has been modified and will be sited in a different location on the Eastside development than previously announced. Meanwhile, Bob Peliza Mews will now be located at Waterport on the site of the current Waterport Power Station. The relocation arises from aspects of the education projects which the government say have required more extensive relocations.
Well, the geotechnical realities of the Eastside plot require the changing of the Joshua Hassan Centenary Terraces development. The Blue Water development has not progressed yet, and therefore the changing of the road, the geotechnical work that's required on the cliffs there has not happened yet, and I don't want to see the affordable housing further delayed by having to wait for that. So it's possible with less geotechnical work to develop what is in effect perpendicular rather than parallel to the rock in that area, a site which I think is a fantastic site for people to own affordable homes on, and that change is one of the things that you've seen. You've also seen the change of Bob Peliza Mews to the plot where the current power station is, which is a very mature plot in terms of housing. It's where Waterport Terraces is, and as soon as the new power station is commissioned, we're able to start work on that plot, because the plot we envisage to put Bob Peliza Mews on is going to be used for education in a way that I'll announce with the Minister for Education in coming weeks.
Additionally, the plans announced today also involve a third estate at Europort Avenue that will provide a further 400 flats. The projects, the government say, will go through the planning process in the usual way. Notably, back in June 2015, 1,700 homes were to be allocated for the two new developments announced at the time. But today's announcement of 3 new developments saw a total of 1,500, a reduction from 2 years ago.
For starters, the configuration is different, and naturally when that changes, it will have an effect on what's available. But you have to remember that what we've announced today is 1,500 homes in the affordable construction project, but you need to add to that as well the 160 properties that are returning to us from the former MOD properties. So in total what we're talking about is 1,660 properties. So the difference isn't that considerable. But having said that, when we're talking about the approximately 1,500 flats, that's on the basis of the current configurations that we have. But as you know, we will be sending a questionnaire to everybody who's expressed an interest to purchase these, and that is exactly why this questionnaire is so important. We're waiting for the details from that questionnaire to be returned to us, and that will give us more information should the current configuration that we have need to change, because ultimately what we need to do is provide housing to provide for the current demand that we have. So we want to make sure that we are understanding that correctly so that the configuration is what it should be.
In addition, some 160 former MOD homes will pass to the government as part of the MOD land transfers agreement and will then be sold by the government. The eligibility requirement for the new Build Afford homes will be different to the eligibility requirement for the ex-MOD housing. The homes that will be handed over to government are at the Europa Walks, Trafalgar Heights, Naval Hospital Hill, Lake Ramp, Provost Ramp, and Phillimore Ramp at Buena Vista Estate. The government said they will secure the construction of the projects through a competitive process to ensure quality and value for money. The completion of the first blocks of affordable homes is expected to be in February 2020, with the first phase of Hassan Centenary Terraces and the whole of that estate being completed by the end of that same year. Completion for the estate on Europort Avenue is expected for March 2021, and completion for the first phase of Bob Peliza Mews is expected, subject to the commissioning of the new power station, in June 2021, and the second phase in December of that year.